All right, welcome back to the Lightning Step Couch. I am your behavioral health advocate, Benjamin Turner. Sitting with me today is Johnny Crowder, the founder and CEO of Cope Notes out of Tampa, Florida. Johnny, thanks for joining me here on the
Thank you.
couch. I appreciate it. We were talking just a minute ago about EMI.
Yeah.
I have no idea what it is. Tell us.
So, background, I'm a huge psych nerd. So, I went
Okay.
to school for psychology and I was really fascinated by neuroscience, like how your brain can change, particularly the neuroplasticity part of
Okay.
neuroscience. So, EMI is ecological momentary intervention.
Okay.
And basically, what it means is if you interrupt automatic negative thought with catalysts for positive thought,
Okay.
over time, the brain starts forming new neural pathways associated with positive thought. So if you think about it like this, is very rudimentary, but if I punched you in the arm once a day in this exact same spot, after a while, your blood cells would rearrange to prepare for the punch.
Yeah.
So what we do is we interrupt the brain intermittently with psychology facts, journaling prompts, exercises, and over time, your brain rearranges its synapses to prepare for the interruption.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's exciting stuff. How are recovery centers using this today?
So we work, first of all, to be 100% clear, I never want to be a recovery center, never want to run a recovery
Yeah.
center. I love what they do. I could
Yeah.
never, totally different,
Yeah.
totally different bag of,
Okay.
I guess, can of worms. So what we want to do
Yeah.
is we want to support by basically filling gaps. So you have pre-care, which is where people aren't, maybe there's a wait list, maybe people aren't comfortable engaging with care. We can support them there.
Okay.
Intercare, so if they have their phone in between sessions, we can provide support.
Gotcha.
And then obviously aftercare and alumni programming is where we can help reinforce those long-term behaviors and habits that will keep them healthy once they leave that care setting.
Awesome. That's exciting, man. How are people finding out about you?
Uh, Fortunately, word of mouth, which is funny
Okay.
because it's anonymous.
Okay.
So nobody, I don't know who's you could be using it and I would have no
Mhm.
idea. But fortunately, the people who use it are telling people about it.
Good.
But we do a lot of, I would say, most people find out about Cope Notes through partnerships. So their school district or their insurance payer or their employer offers it as a benefit. Their government, their local government offers it through a program. So we would not be where we are today without partners basically distributing a really valuable resource to people who need it.
Okay. Does this primarily work through a mobile phone? Is that the
Oh
outlet for
yeah.
that? Okay.
It's all text-based, which
Okay.
is very important because most digital resources are app-based.
Yeah.
So you're talking, most people don't know this, there's 36 million Americans who use non-smart cell phones.
Okay. Wow.
So 11% of the US population has not the shiny new iPhone
Yeah.
15 Plus, they have a flip phone or one of the brick or prepaid phones. So using SMS allows us to serve the tens of millions of Americans who can't use other digital health resources. And we can serve, if you have an iPhone, we can also serve you too.
Yeah. Absolutely. Um, So what data security, and you mentioned a little bit about how it's an anonymous platform. What's the importance of that, and what privacy measures are critical when implementing these digital strategies?
So I'm going to answer the question a little different
That's all
way
right.
than you might expect. So this is coming from personal experience.
Mm-hmm.
When I was first thinking about engaging with care, I was very treatment resistant. So I didn't want to talk to a therapist, didn't want to take medication. And I really had a lot of self stigma. So I was judging myself. What does it mean if I'm using a resource? So I didn't like sharing any information. Like if there was a form online, I have to enter my name, turn off.
Okay.
I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
So part of it was I wanted anonymity for the sake of my
Mm-hmm.
own self stigma. When I thought I didn't want even the person reading the form or the AI combing the form entries to see my name. But the other part was a lot of people face implicit bias in care settings, and it's based on PHI, like demographic info, where we might not even be trying to treat someone differently because they're 63
Mm-hmm.
or because they have an accent.
Yeah.
Like, but we do on accident. It happens all the time. So with Cope Notes, we wanted to keep it anonymous, not only to protect people's information, but also to guarantee uniformity of care, because I can't treat you differently because I don't know how old you are,
Yeah,
where you live, what your name is, anything like that. And I think that's something that we talk a lot about, security and privacy in the field, but we don't talk a lot about how the best way to guarantee uniformity of care is to not collect information that would allow
yeah,
you
yeah.
to be biased in the first
I think that's
place.
important. You know, you do see a lot of bias through cultural and multi-generational, all kinds of aspects that can create some sort of bias. So it's great to have that anonymity. So I really appreciate you sitting down with us, Johnny. Is there anything that I haven't mentioned that you feel important to get out there about what you're doing or what you see happening here?
Yeah, so I'm a suicide survivor, so I'm big on prevention. I will shout it from the rooftops. And the one thing that I always want to tell people is when they look at a resource like Cope Notes, they think, oh, it's for this specific type of person, or it's just for this use case. And what we do is we leave, let's say, 95% of people who aren't actively in crisis, and we say, wait till it gets real bad, and then come talk to us and we can
Yeah,
help you. And
yeah,
then for the 5% of people who are struggling the most, that's who we help. What we're trying to change is we want to create one resource that everybody and their grandma can use. It doesn't matter if you're, and we literally did studies to prove that Cope Notes is effective for people without diagnoses, people in the mild symptom range who just get stressed or sad every once in a while. And I think the future of healthcare is not just only tending to people with multiple diagnoses like me, but also getting to people way before that crisis or those formal diagnoses and providing support so that we can maybe shave 10 years off their recovery journey by getting to them early.
man. This is definitely one of the most informative conversations I've had. I really think it's neat what you guys are doing. I appreciate you sitting down on the couch with us. Again, we've got Johnny Crowder with Cope Notes, founder and CEO, based out of Tampa, Florida. Check those guys out. They're doing some great stuff. Really appreciate your time today.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah.